So I started off this art journal spread with a stamp that I got from my mum. Hello mum. She got a full set of stamps from Rare Earth, and these stamps in here were really not her style, so I very happily took them off her hands and started adding them into my art journals. When I sat down to create this page, I really didn't have much of a clue where it was going. I just knew I wanted to try out my new stamps and to pick out some really bold, fresh colours. I was just getting a bit sick of all the greens and the blues and the turquoises, so I picked up this gorgeous yellow and I added an orange, and then you'll see me shortly adding in some opera rose, of course, my favourite colour, and I'm adding that in with my fingers as well, which, as you guys know, is one of my favourite things to do. So I splurged recently and picked myself up another Winsor & Newton watercolour marker. This colour is in mauve. I really love the Payne's Grey so much. I wanted to get another one, and this colour of purple is just gorgeous. So I'm just adding in some marks onto my page, and then I go in with a watercolour brush and just pop on some water on top of it. It just dilutes down the marks a little bit so they're not quite as bold, just gives you another depth to your page. Okay, so here is where I started to get an idea about what I was going to do with my page. I have these found relatives from Tim Holtz that I've had in my stash for ages. So I traced around this bride and groom set and I used some black gesso. At this point I was listening to an 80s playlist and the song Tainted Love by Soft Cell came on, and I was like, oh my god, that's just perfect. I love to use lyrics in my pages, and this one just really sparked a really cool idea. So I wanted to kind of have like an anti-wedding, because it's a real kind of anti-love song. So the black gesso came out and I really kind of went to town adding in a highlight for these married couple. You'll see what I do with them now shortly, especially the groom. I actually really thought it was quite funny the way that the page turned out, but I really am in love with it. So I glued these guys down with the Yoo-Hoo glue stick, and now I'm going in with some white heavy body acrylic paint, and I'm just painting a blindfold over my little groom here because I felt that the song really reflected that kind of love is blind and you don't know what you're getting into. So I thought it'd be really quite funny to add this in. I've seen Roxanne Coble do this so many times in some of her drawings, and I really love the look of it in the end. So this is a Dilutions turquoise paint. It's super thick and heavy bodied kind of feel to it, so it worked really well on the black gesso and on my people. I just wanted to add in a few extra details just to kind of ground my image. I felt like they were kind of floating in the air a little bit too much, so adding in these kind of random marks really gave them a place to kind of stand on the page. I think it makes them look a lot better, and I really like how the little kind of path leads into them as well. It leads the eye straight into the image of the married couple. So I stamped out all of my words onto a piece of just plain white copy paper. I used black stays on ink, and I cut them out individually, and I just went around the edges of them with my black stays on ink pad. I really like to do this if I'm adding in words like this because it just gives it a really rough and ready kind of feel. It gives it a really kind of grungy look, and it went especially well with the page. Fits into this little box really sweetly, and I have to say it's probably one of my most used supplies outside of my catalyst. I hope it's great, of course. Some extra doodles to my little man's blindfold. I really love how this page has turned out. I just love having a really quirky kind of tongue-in-cheek feel to my art journals, and using lyrics and this kind of thing with kind of Victorian illustrations is one of my favourite things to do. So I hope that this video has encouraged you to go and do the same. I'd love to see it if you create any lyrical inspired art journal spreads, and I will see you next time.